Alright, I didn't expect a lot of support from the last video, and the amount of subs that this channel has sparked up just from that video alone has just been awesome. I really appreciate it from everyone, and I hope the video helped you out in any way regarding your account. I've noticed a couple of comments having trouble either deciding on an element they want to play regarding what units they currently have, or those that already have a main element worry that they won't have enough resources saved in time for their must-have unit in the future. So it got me thinking, what's the most expensive element for free-to-play players in terms of not only banner gap, the time between banners, so players can skip characters that doesn't really help with their overall team comp, but also the usage of early units, the units of that element that can help you at the earliest point in the game and not have you wait for an OP unit late game, if that makes sense. No, I'm going off of my experience from playing free to play on the CN version regarding what's the cheapest to expensive elements, and the kits for the units I suggest are subjected to change in the future when they arrive on global, so take it as a grain of salt. It's just my personal opinion on the matter. It's not factual information, just letting you know. Starting off with the first element, Frost, being not only able to freeze enemies in place but having really good units from the standard banner coming at the start of the game that would definitely be in late end game regarding their kit. Tsubasa at A1 being able to buff attack by 15% and from just her charge attacks alone for all the weapons you have equipped, not just Frost. Merle being a very decent shatter unit, and at A1 not only increases the shatter further by an additional 15%, but it heals you for up to 10% of HP, which come quite in handy when running a straight tank or DPS with no heal support at all. The first limited carrier that came out for Frost was Frigg, being not only your buffer with Frost Resonance increasing to 15 and the enemy's res by 25, but also having the bug turned into a feature. So at A0 to A2, you'll notice a spike in your current Frost characters regarding their extra damage by 15 and the shatter that everybody already have by 25 while inside the Frost domain. The must-have unit for this element would be Saki Fuwa. Not only does she have the highest shatter in the game, but she also runs with Frost Resonance with her A1, so she resets all the weapon skill cooldowns on top of doubling her damage for her two stance styles for a total of 25 seconds. So her banner isn't until mid 2.0, so for those who pulled Frigg and those who are remaining Frost tanky, you'll definitely have enough time to guarantee Saki at least at A0 to A1 to say the least. Here's an example of team comps. You have your Frigg variant, Frigg, Saki, and Tsubasa, and you have your tank variant, those who skipped for Frigg, Saki, Merle, and Tsubasa. Second on the list is physical, just for the fact that the element itself doesn't really shine early game, but the banner waiting time in terms of stacking up summons and resources for this element is outstanding, considering how many banners to skip for compatible units to make this element really shine. Shiro from the standard banner is an exception when it comes to early units, who is a very solid choice as long as you're getting her to A3 or working your way up to it, which resets all your weapon skill cooldown you currently have upon shattering shields, but also increases the shatter by 15% when using her. Claudia being the first limited banner for this element and a sub DPS slash buffer for the comp at A1 increases damage overall by 24% when using her skill or discharge. She can easily stack up by using her advancement passive, then you can switch to your main DPS afterwards if you choose to. The must have for this element is indeed Lyra. I already mentioned she already had physical resonance last time, but her A1 stacking up to 8 guardians, dealing damage by 100% of your overall physical attack when using her skill discharge, and the amount of stuff Lyra does alone at A0 is just too good. She's a main DPS, healer, and buffer for the entire team. I'm kind of jealous, to be honest, but waiting if you're a physical element main is worth. Mark being a tank slash defense solid character for this element is being placed as a mention just for the fact that not only is he a collaboration character from the Chinese animated series Ling Cage Incarnation, but his data files are, as far as Matrix, were leaked, so I'm not saying he's confirmed at all, but it's not impossible, I guess. Here's the team comp. You got your Shatter, Heal, Abyss, Shiro, Lyra, and Claudia, and then you have Guardian, Abuser, Claudia, Lyra, and Lin. And then if Mark does come, you have your Absolute Defense, Mark, Lyra, and Claudia. Third one is Vote, only because you're going for Nemesis, but Lin and Tien's banners are not that far apart from each other, so I was thinking about the saving perspective with events, compensation, and luck with this one. Nemesis, who was the first limited banner for the server and the unit most people can legit reroll accounts for until they got her, not only has Void Resonance boosting up her damage and res, but also units like Samir and Crow by 25% res and 15% 50% of their overall attack gets increased. Nemesis is a support character and well versatile with passive heals at A0. Her Electroid turret setups at A1 though, with the additional healing multipliers on your allies by 135% of your overall attack, really nice. The must-have unit for this element is indeed Tian Ling, being your main DPS / battery charger for the team at A0, and at A1 he increases your overall HP by 20% with the help of overload, but you do take damage by 12% and it stacks up to 8 times, except if you're at 50% or lower, then you'll lose stack. Bai, as a very solid Volt main DPS / shatter unit, is going to be placed also as I mentioned here, just for the fact that she is also indeed a collab character from the animated series Ling Cage Incarnation, with her matrices leaked in game with Mark, so I'm not saying she's confirmed in the slightest. Again, the team comps for this is high charge DPS, Nemesis, Tian Ling, and Lin. If you're not going for Tian, you could do Volt Battery Spray, Nemesis, Samir, and Lin, or Viral Battery, Nemesis, Crow, and Lin. If Bai comes out, here's a Bai variant for people who are going for Bai. If she do comes, Nemesis, Bai, and Lin. Lastly is the Flame element, being not only having not many characters to work with early game at all, besides some uses like King and his Shatter, or Homa with her damage resistance, but the units you need to get with this element banners are way too close, and you need to invest in one of the units advancement while trying to go for Lin 2.0. Other than that, you don't have a main DPS character until their first limited unit, Cobalt, with her Flame Resonance, but you do have to try and get Cobalt to her A3 if possible, just for the fact that not only it does burn with the help of 2 flame weapons thanks to the status Flame, but on those already burned enemies you can deal an additional 60% damage based off your overall attack for every second for 10 seconds, which is really good in my opinion, to be honest. But the must-have character for this element is Ruby, not only because of herself getting Flame Res, but she doesn't take much investment in. She's solid at A0 because of her kit itself, with her skill Sparky Crash, stacking up damage multipliers with Sparky and adding additional damage just from the distance of the enemies by 100%, plus her dodge Dolly, taunting the enemies, so leaving them distracted, switch into Cobalt and dish out her additional damage once Dolly blows up in the enemy's face. But I digress. The example team comp for this, Sparky Boom, Cobalt, Ruby, and you have Lin. Lin is in a variety class of her own with majority game team comps. She's a very solid unit if you're looking for overall buffs and boost of damage for your team, and her being a good DPS with really good shatter and charge at that matter. So I would recommend going for her if anything. Let me know if this helped out. This is just my look on the banner situation, since I did mention a little bit last time, but hopefully you enjoyed watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. It's Big Boy N, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Bye.